Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Simply Stitched Crochet. My name is Christina. Well, I'm again back on YouTube for my second video, and I'm so excited. So for today's video, I really wanted to spend some time talking about another one of my favorite things, and that is my current projects and my plan for future projects, which is always evolving and changing. So I have my notes here in my crochet notebook. So let's go ahead and get started. So one of my goals for the year was to really work on getting my stash down. So I decided a good way to do that would be to participate in some year-long crochet alongs. So one of the crochet alongs that I'm working on, and I will show you, is the Stitch and Scream over on Alt Knots with Kayla. And so I have been working on that. I guess you could say I'm a little behind. I guess you could say that. So far, this is what I have for the January square. So I realized with things like tension and the yarn I'm using that my measurements weren't quite the same. So I've had to do some adjusting as I've been working on this project. So it's taken me a little bit longer to kind of work on the pieces. So because of the adjustments I've made, so this is what I have for January. I'm about halfway, but my square is about 1.5 inches shorter than the square that, how long Kayla said it should be. So slowly but surely working it. This first square is done in the spider stitch and I love it. And it's really stretchy. And it feels really nice. I'm just using Big Twist Twinkle yarn for my blanket. I'm going to be using gray and black and potentially another accent color. It's really going to depend kind of how this blanket unfolds. It is a mystery cow, so we don't know what we'll be doing each month until the video comes out, which I love. So I'm definitely leaving myself room to change my plans and kind of just see where things take me. So this is what I have for the January square. I have started the February square. It's not as far along, if I can get it out. It's not as far along as my January square. Again, because I did have to do some adjusting to the size because of things like tension and what hook. So this is what I have so far for February. I think this is 4 rows. 1, 2, yes, this is only 4 rows that I have for February. Same yarn, Big Twist Twinkle. I believe I'm using a 6.5 hook for mine. I have it written down and I can look. But I believe I'm using a 6.5. Just kidding. I am using a 6mm hook for both squares. And the stitch for February is the herringbone half double crochet. So again, I'm not as far as I would have liked because I'm making some adjustments as I go along for my tension, for how loose and flowy I want it to be. And I just decided I may have 12 squares by the end of the year that are at different phases of completion, and that's okay. I'm really trying to go with the flow, be patient, allow myself to change my mind and kind of see what happens. Again, it's a mystery cow. I'm fully embracing the mystery of it all. And I'll be sure to link Kayla's introduction video to her cow down below. If I remember, I'm really gonna try to remember. So I have that. The second project that I kind of have as a year-long project that I'm working on is a blanket that I wanted to make for a year now. I saw some time ago a beautiful blanket online, and it had like peach in it. And I am not a fan of peach generally, but I saw this peach color online and I was like, it is so beautiful. And I decided this is the year that I'm going to make my peach blanket. So this is a challenge because not only am I working with a color I don't normally like, I generally like, oh, I think I have it end on me. I generally like dark colors, black, or things kind of like this. You see kind of a mixture of things, but kind of muted. I don't generally like kind of bright things like this, but I just thought this was so beautiful. It's peach. I live in Georgia. So this blanket I have lovingly called my Georgia Peach blanket. And it is going to be for my bed, a queen size bed. So I can't show you the whole thing. And the yarn I'm using I'm using Caron 1 pound in the color peach for what's going to be the centerpieces. And then I'm also using, where's the other yarn? One of the Caron Jumbo Ombre in the color Salmon. This, again, I'm kind of going with the flow. Originally, I was going to use the ombre color for just the beginning panel. Then all through the middle, it was going to be the solid salmon. And then I was going to end with another panel. So how I have here where this is all the salmon, and then I've started with just the peach. But then I really was enjoying the ombre. So I may switch things up and do ombre, a panel of the peach, ombre, panel of the peach, and then finish with the ombre. So far, I'm really loving it. I didn't want to, after doing this very big blanket, have to then go back and do a border. So I decided to kind of have the border work up as I work the blanket. And the whole blanket is done in double crochets. I'm using I never remember what hook size I'm using for anything, which is why I have to write it down. I'm using a 6mm hook. As I said, it's a queen size blanket with drape, so it's gonna hang over on the sides. This border, I got the idea from a stitch book that I'm using. It's right here actually. Let's see if I have it marked what stitch I'm using. And it's not exactly what I saw, but I just liked how it had open window panes. And I really like that. I thought it would be a great way to build a border. I can't find it, but it's out of this book, the Crochet Stitch Dictionary, Sarah Hazel. I love this. Side note, I'll talk about this book a different day, but I have it tabbed. I love it. But anyway, I took a stitch from in there and kind of modified it so it would be a border. So I have a border that's going to be on my blanket as I go, and I love that. So this is my Georgia Peach blanket. I am a Georgia Peach. And this is, again, another project. I don't anticipate finishing it anytime soon. I'm going to enjoy the process, work on it as the year progresses, maybe even longer. But I love it. It is so soft. I really feel like in the past couple years, the Caron 1 pounds have gotten softer. I feel like I didn't like them at first. Or maybe it was the colors I've used, but this is so soft and I can't wait. I can't wait till this is done. So that's another project that's gonna be going for a while. And then I think that's all of my I have one more work in progress. I'm also, as part of a year-long project and trying to use my stash, I am participating in the Yarny Fiber Sisters year-long calendar crochet along. They have knit and crochet projects, blankets, cardigans. I think it's blankets, cardigans, and a Lenny Kravitz scarf. I love that they're doing knit and crochet. So I decided to challenge myself, and I am participating, and I am making a boho cardigan, which was one of the things to make. But I decided I'm gonna knit. So look, I'm here, second video in. I am a crocheter, but I decided to challenge myself. And I thought, you know, it's simple. It's just knit, stitch, kind of break up the crochet. Maybe when I get tired of crochet, I work on this. It's a year-long project. I'm not very far. I'm keeping my needles together with a hair tie so I don't lose them. This is, again, I'm really enjoying this because it's forcing me to take my time and really enjoy the process. So this is all I have so far, but I'm really proud of myself. I think it's coming along really nicely. I think my tension has been pretty even. This isn't my very first time knitting. I did attempt knitting before I learned to crochet years ago. But all I ever made was hats and scarves, so it didn't keep me entertained for very long. So it was fun kind of picking up needles again and figuring out how to knit again. And I will say this, I found it a lot easier to pick up knitting again after crocheting for so long. And I think that's because I know how to tension my yarn. So I'm actually knitting continental. When I first learned, I was doing English style where you throw the yarn. Not this time, I'm doing continental, and I would have never thought. But I think because I'm holding the yarn the same way I do when I crochet, it's a whole lot easier. I'm still slow, but it's going. And I'm using, for this, we use 2 strands held together, and I'm using Big Twist in the color, this is hot pink. Hot pink. And then I'm using Red Heart Roll With It Melange in the color Catwalk. Yes, in the color Catwalk. Using these 2 held double. It's coming along slowly but surely. I'm kind of using this as a project that I work on when, it rarely happens, but I'm just tired of crocheting. I need to switch it up. That's why I haven't made much progress. I love crochet. I never get tired of crochet. So that is all of my current works in progress. And I do have as well one finished project. And that is this shawl. This shawl that I made using yarn. You can't even see the whole thing. You can't see the whole thing. I made this, again, using yarn from my stash. Yay, busting through my stash. And this is, and I don't remember the name, but I wrote it down. This is the Granny Connection shawl. I got this pattern from Crystal over at Bag O' Day Crochet. I used a couple Karen cakes, just the regular Karen cakes. And I also used Lion Brand Pound of Love. I think this is in the color cream. I used that as well to make sure, because I did do, to my best ability, some color controlling. It's not perfect color controlling, but that's okay. I think because of how this pattern works out, that's actually awesome that I couldn't perfectly color control. This was the first project I ever did where I have color controlled, and I'm proud of myself. It was not as scary as I thought. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. But yeah, it turned out great. Browns, again, browns normally aren't my color, but this is not for me. This is for my grandma. It's gonna be an early Mother's Day present. Since Mother's Day is in a warmer month, I said I'll give it to her now, and then she can still get some use out of it while it's still chilly outside, if she wants to, you know, cozy up under it. It's comes down to just above my knees. I'm about 5'8", and my grandma is about 5'4", so this should be perfect for her. It's heavy, it feels so nice, it's got good drape to it. I don't remember what colorway this cake was, but I got it last summer on the clearance when they were clearancing out just the regular Karen cakes, and I got like I think 3 or 4 of this one, and I used quite a bit, and I still have a cake left, and that cake I used came with, it did have beige in it, but it was more beige. I wanted something a little bit brighter to pop more, so that's why I decided to use the 1 pound, but I loved this pattern. It has my favorite thing, granny stitches. It has front post, back post, and as you can kind of see from one side, it alternates. So it goes a section of granny stitches and then a section of front post and back post, and it alternates. So half the side, half the round is granny stitches, and let's see if I can get this lined up correctly. Oh, perfect. And then the other half of the rounds is the front post, back post, all double crochet, granny stitch, double crochet, cluster, and then the front post, back post are also double crochet, and it switches sides and it alternates. So you can see here, the next section, granny stitches on this side, the front post, back posts are on the other side. So this was a lot of fun to work. Again, I did, to the best of my ability, color control, but there are some areas where, you know, you just run out. So, but I love this, and I think my grandma's gonna love it too. So this is my finished object. I kind of want to make another one of those too. I've been trying to kind of plan out another one that I want to make for myself. And I think I may use a couple of the Premier bobbins that were clearanced out recently. I have a lot of those in a lot of different colors, so I'm considering playing around with some of those again as well. Okay, this video is really long. And the last thing I'm going to talk about are just a couple of my goals for the month. So one of my goals is crocheting every day this month. So far, so good. I have crocheted every day. Not a lot every day, but I have crocheted every day this month. And my second goal for the month is to finish the ball of yarn that I'm on for my Georgia Peach blanket. So this ball, I'm probably a third of the way through this ball, but surprisingly, if I sit down, get a show on, a couple episodes, I get quite a few rows done. 5-6 rows in an episode. That's pretty good. If I watch 2 episodes, that's 10-12 rows. So I'm hoping also to work on this tonight, get some work done on it. I haven't worked on it since last week, so that's my second goal for the month. That is all I have for you all tonight. Please like, comment, what are you working on? What have you finished recently? Do you have any crochet goals for the month? Let me know. I'd love to talk about it. And that's all I have for you all tonight. See you next time. Bye.